What's up, YouTubers? Boy Red Prince 102 back here again. I got some crazy news for you guys. Did you know that Sony bought Bungie for $3.8 million, I believe? $3.8 billion. So now it's an acquisition war between Sony and Microsoft. We all know that Sony doesn't have the money to compete with Microsoft, and they really don't need to, man. But Sony makes smart moves. Sony makes purchases that make sense. Now, Sony buying Bungie, that's a low blow to Microsoft, man. I mean, Bungie was in bed with Microsoft. They're the ones that actually made the Xbox. They saved Xbox by introducing Halo to the world in the early 2000s. Now we know that Halo is not as good as it used to be. That's because it's under a new studio. 343 is nowhere near as talented as Bungie, but Bungie indeed is a very talented studio. Now you guys might be saying to yourself, well, you know, Halo was old and the only game Bungie made was Destiny. True, but but Bungie is very talented nonetheless. Trust me, they have games in the works. They have games on the pipeline, you know, gearing up for release. And being that Sony purchased them, that's actually a smart move. I mean, Microsoft is buying up, you know, all these companies. But I mean, I think Bungie was a smart move. I'll just say that. And also, Bungie is there. Sony can use Bungie to help propel the titles Sony already has under its belt. It's exclusive titles. Now, who's to say Sony can use Bungie and stick them on a SOCOM game and make SOCOM better than it has ever been? We've seen a SOCOM game since, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, a PS2. I don't know if SOCOM was on PS3. It's been a while. I wasn't really a PS3 player back in the days, but I had one though. But Sony can use Bungie and put them on a whole bunch of their first-person titles. So, and I also heard Sony's not done purchasing studios. Now there's, you know, word up in the air, you know, a lot of now Sony didn't say this. Now this is just fan talk that they should buy Capcom and Konami. And if you watch one of my other videos, I stated, you know, Nintendo should buy Capcom and Konami. Me personally, I think Capcom and Konami would be a better purchase than even Bungie and the Activision acquisition Microsoft, you know, did with Activision and Blizzard. The reason why I say that is, in my opinion, man, I think Konami and Capcom, they're way bigger. They have way better IPs than both Blizzard and Activision, or should I say Activision, and even you know, they do. Actually, they do. They have way better games. I think buying Capcom and Konami, to me, in my brain, in my world, is bigger than the Activision acquisition. Just off the titles alone. I mean, Konami has, I mean, come on, man. They have Metal Gear. They have Castlevania. They have Contra. They have the soccer games, which isn't really all that great nowadays. You know, Konami is not once. They're not as good as they used to be. But I mean, they have so many titles, man. Bionic Commando is a favorite of mine. Jackal was a favorite of mine on the regular NES. Monsters in My Pocket on the NES. Like, you know, back in the 90s, man, like Konami, man, they was pumping out quality games after quality games. So Konami and Capcom would be an acquisition that makes sense, and they're real cheap to buy. But we'll see what happens. But right now, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about Sony latest acquisition with Bungie. I mean, these guys came out with Microsoft, man. That gotta hurt Microsoft. And I heard that Bungie was celebrating when they left Microsoft, which means this whole time they probably didn't even have a good relationship with Microsoft. They probably had them in the depths of the deepest depths of the dungeon in Microsoft offices, just in the trenches, just slaving away at Halo. Just want to keep on making Halo games. And when I think about it, Bungie never made anything but Halo and Destiny. So I think that Sony acquiring Bungie, man, that's a big hell of a deal, man. They could probably reveal some of Microsoft's secrets, but at the end of the day, Sony takes care of their studios, and I think Sony will give them the creative content to make whatever they want to make, and we'll finally see Bungie break out of its shell and start making like different games. A racing game, an adventure game, RPG game, whatever. I'd love to see how talented Bungie is by working on different genres of games. So that would be a sight to behold, and Sony will make sure that they do that and give them the creative freedom that they want. I wonder what studios Sony's gonna buy up next, or even Microsoft. But I mean, man, the future of gaming is just looking so crazy, man. Studios putting their games on other platforms now. I mean, that's crazy. That's, I'm from the era of, exclusivity, where, Sony had its own games, Microsoft had its own games, Nintendo had its own games, and now it's like all these companies, they're sharing their games, putting all their games on every platform. So it's crazy, man. It's going to get to a point where it doesn't really matter what system you have, because no matter what system you have, you can play, all the games. But you guys can also Google that information as well. Sony buys Bungie. But it's so funny, even though Sony bought Bungie, it's funny how that news wasn't widespread like the Microsoft and Activision acquisition. That's crazy. But nonetheless, Sony made that purchase. They on the low. I heard it was several months actually, excuse me guys, and planned. So Sony been planning to buy them for quite some time now, for several months ago, and I guess it's not really a strike back against Microsoft acquiring Activision, but who knows, man? That could just be PR talk, man. I doubt it, man. I think because what do I know? But hey, I think Sony just made that move because I think Sony made that move to buy Bungie because Microsoft was buying up studios, and it kind of makes sense, but I think Sony will be okay regardless. But that was still a smart move. They don't have to go out and make a $70 billion purchase on Microsoft. That was just ridiculous. They could have taken that $70 billion and either shove it or do something better with it, like go buy several islands or something. I don't know, but $70 billion, I probably would have bought several studios with that, and you would have still had money left over. But like I said, man, I know what studios I will purchase, but I'm more of a Nintendo guy. I have nothing against Sony and Microsoft. I have all systems. I play all games. You see my PC in the background. I play everything, but at the end of the day, everybody has their favorite whore, you know what I'm saying? I mean, me, I'm always rooting for Nintendo. Kudos to Microsoft and Sony for doing their thing. Whatever platform has exclusive, I'll play them all. But I think Nintendo, should buy some studios as well. They don't have to go buck wild crazy like Microsoft though. But I would love to see Nintendo buy Konami and Capcom, and all these companies. They really started with Nintendo anyway, so it's only right. But that's up to Nintendo, they're chilling. I guess they're not worried about it, but that's a conversation for another day. So you guys, if you're new here to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna bring you video game news, unboxing. I represent everything gaming: Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Even though I'm primarily, a Nintendo channel. What's so funny? I don't even know what kind of channel my channel really is, but I do know it's actually for all things gaming. So I really don't have a preference. I talk about all systems, anything electronic. So you guys, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. And you want to hear some of the latest video game news, see some cool unboxing, my thoughts and reviews, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like my content. Drop comments in the comment section Let me know if you think that was a smart move by Sony for acquiring Bungie, and should they buy more studios, or what studios do you want to see them buy next? Matter of fact, I don't even want to get into all that, man. Gaming is just crazy right now. So we'll see what the future holds. Sony will be okay regardless, but that was a smart move what they did. I mean, 3.9 billion is not really a lot. You know, it's better than 70 million. Excuse me, it's better than $70 billion. Anyway, guys, Red Crimson 102, like and subscribe out.